Hello world and welcome to a Valheim video. This is another technical tutorial to install the ValheimPlus mod on your local game and on your remote Linux server. This tutorial assumes that you've already set up a remote Linux machine, such as in AWS, and that you have the server dependencies already installed. Also, you've installed steamcmd on the remote machine. So let's go through the steps. Firstly, log into your remote machine using something like PuTTY. I'm also using a screen session to organize some displays here. I'm going to install a separate copy of the Valheim server first, so that it doesn't interfere with my vanilla copy of the Valheim server. So I'm going to take this command for steamcmd in order to update and install a new version of the Valheim server software in the SteamValheimPlus folder. So I'm running that command and letting it install. All right, that took about 1 minute, and now a second vanilla server is on my Linux machine. As you see, I have Steam and SteamValheimPlus, basically both vanilla servers at this moment. But I'm going to cd into the SteamValheimPlus folder. And then I am going to curl and untar and unzip the Unix server from the ValheimPlus mod. So you're going to want to make sure your link is up to date so you can follow the instructions in the tutorial that I've attached to the video in the description. But there's a link here to get the server for Linux. You can click on any of these links, which will take you to the GitHub page, where at the bottom you've got Linux server, your Windows client, or your Windows server. So you need to right click, copy link address of the unixserver.tar.gz, and you use that in your command here. You use that specific link. In case the version number has changed, you're going to want to update that instead of using the old version in this tutorial. So I'm going to run that, and it added the files to the server folder. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do, just like when I wanted to run a vanilla server, I copied the startup script just so that I have my variables saved so that if I ever update ValheimPlus, it will not have an issue with overwriting my configuration. Now you will want to make sure that when ValheimPlus updates, the new server script doesn't have changes. If it did, you're going to want to make sure you include those changes as well in your custom script. Assuming it stays the same, you're just going to have to then continue to run your customized startup script. So I'm copying it over to my start server bepinx. In that file, you're going to see that it has the server name, server password, server port, server world, and server public parameters at the top, where you can configure them specifically for your server. And server world is the file name of the world that your server will start. I definitely recommend not mixing worlds from your vanilla servers and your modded servers. I highly doubt that's going to go well. So always make sure you keep your name separate, because all of the worlds are going to go into the same place, the same folder. So do not use similar or the same names. Now for this tutorial, I'm just going to leave these parameters the same, but obviously the password here is set to password, so you're going to want to customize your own. Then I can simply run the my start server bepinx, and the server will start on the Linux host. Now, you also need to install the client mod on your copy of Valheim. So what you do is you go to Steam, you right-click your game, you click Properties, you go to Local Files, and you click Browse. And it will open up a copy of your game that was installed by Steam. Now, you're going to see there's some extra files here already. Well, because I downloaded the Windows client.zip, which you can see right here, and I added a copy of all these files directly into my Valheim game folder. So when I launch Valheim, it is now the ValheimPlus version. And I can show you that now. Play ValheimPlus, and here it is, ValheimPlus. On the top left, it says running bepinx 5.4.8.0, 2 plugins loaded. Bottom right, you can see you have your game version and your ValheimPlus version. So now when you play, you can connect to a server running the ValheimPlus server software. I would also recommend probably not mixing your characters between types of servers. I'm not sure if there would be any consequences. If Valheim Plus would add anything to your character file, it's possible then you wouldn't be able to use it on a vanilla server. So either make sure you make backups of your characters and worlds, or don't mix them between using vanilla and modded Valheim. Now I'm going to quit and just show you a quick thing here. On the server, you can find in your SteamValheimPlus folder, under BepInEx, another folder, you'll see config. And in there, there's a Valheim_plus.cfg. And basically this file is all of the configuration settings for your Valheim Plus server. You would want to tweak these possibly, and then run the server after tweaking them. Or you can leave them to the defaults if you just want to try out the mod as is. Also, your worlds for the server are still in the same directory as a vanilla server would put them, meaning you have your user folder, it's in .config/unity3d/irongate/valheim/worlds. Because obviously when you're playing on a remote server, the worlds are stored on the server and your characters are stored on your own computer, on your local game. But you will not have a copy of the world on your computer, unless of course you download it from the server. I hope this tutorial was able to help you set up Valheim Plus. Again, I would recommend not mixing characters or worlds between different versions of the software. But if you have a throwaway test character or something, feel free to play around with it to make sure everything's working, possibly before you use your official characters and start to rank up your stats in case something goes wrong. Or also make frequent backups of your files, just in case something gets messed up when using all of the modded software. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you liked the video, please do hit the thumbs up for like, comment, and subscribe.